In this video, you're going to learn the best way to completely avoid all of the agonizing stress, the endless hours of wasted time, and the potential disaster when searching for a new home or condo in the Manila or Makati area. Are you tired and frustrated trying to find a new home or condo in Manila or Makati? Are you confused about how to make this process go smoothly and work out well for you instead of causing you stress, confusion, and endless hours of wasted time? You know, the process of buying a new home, whether it's for your own personal residence or for investment purposes, is one of the most important steps in your life, and it's essential that this process doesn't become a nightmare or a disaster. Here are some of the things that can happen while searching for a new home in Manila, and these are from my own real-life experiences. First, you go on the internet and start looking for properties that match what you're looking for. You need to find the right size, location, style, and features, and of course the right price range. You need to find out how much you will need to pay as a down payment and how much will be the monthly payments if you intend to use financing. At first it might be kind of fun and exciting, and that's how it should be. But maybe you find that it's hard to know from the photos and the information that's on the internet which is really the right home or condo to take the time to actually go see in person. You may have to spend many hours over several days or weeks searching. When you see something you like, maybe you write down the information and call the number on that website to schedule a showing. It's very likely that you might have several different properties that you want to see, and maybe you found them on different websites and you end up with appointments over several days to look at properties with several different agents. The last thing that you want is for some annoying, pushy sales agents to start calling you trying to sell you a property that is totally not what you want. And you probably know what I'm talking about because many of these agents only have their own interests in mind and they don't really care what you want. And you really want to avoid having more than one agent involved. And a lot of people don't realize that it's possible to completely avoid that problem. Once I had an agent with a prominent company insist on showing me a property, and I kept asking, what is this property? Why do we want to go see this property? And he said, you have to go see this property. And then it ended up taking most of an entire day to have me drive my own rental car way outside of the city to a remote area. When I got there, the property was a small beach hut, even though I had clearly explained that I was looking for a house. I was looking for a 200 to 300 square meter house in the city. I was very frustrated and disappointed that I wasted so much time going out there to look at this thing. And why were we looking at it? It was because the agent wanted to sell it to me. And isn't it kind of stupid for the agent to try to sell me something that I don't want? Later, that agent called me asking for compensation. He wanted to pay me some money for the time he had spent taking me out there because I didn't buy or rent anything using his services. Now, don't you think it's actually a little bit ridiculously inconsiderate for him to be not concerned about wasting my time because I'm the one who's looking for a house and I'm the one who wasted so much time when I only had a few days on that scouting trip to look for a home. And that's why it's so important that we narrow down the options and only look at things that are specifically within the criteria for what I'm looking. It was only because he wanted to sell it, not because it was what I was looking for. Once I found a house that I did like and I absolutely fell in love with it. It was perfect. I thought, okay, this is my dream house. I decided to take it. When I decided to take it, the agent contacted the seller and the seller's listing agent. So now there are already two agents involved. I found out later that the agent just used my offer. When I said, yeah, I would like to take this house, they used that to call her other client who was thinking about getting it, but he wasn't taking any action. He kept thinking about it. So they used that to get him to move and take action. And she just used our offer to get him to take action so that she would get the full commission, and no one was really interested in me getting what I want. See, what happened here, the people involved are not concerned about what I want. They're only concerned about what they want. It was all about which agent is in control and who gets paid. And these kinds of endless hassles and problems, things like this, constantly getting in your way if you're looking for a house. And it can be so frustrating, all the things that are going on, when you just, even for a short time, start thinking about looking for any kind of a house or a condo. Once you start looking for a house or a condo to buy or even to rent, many people appear and suddenly come out of the woodwork trying to show you properties. Some of these people are not even licensed agents, but they're just looking to get in between you and a seller in order to try to collect some kind of a commission. People who aren't even agents just suddenly appear and say, "Oh, I have this property and you need to go look at it." Sometimes it's a taxi driver or a relative or a friend. And if you have a business or you've hired people to help, it might even be one of your employees who's trying to show you a property as soon as they find out that you're looking for something. Once I searched for months to find a new house to rent. Finally, I decided on a house that I did really like. But when I decided to move in this house, there were 4 different people who claimed to be my agent and claimed to have introduced me to the house, and were all 4 of them trying to go to the seller and collect a commission. Believe me, there's a much better way to do this. You can find just the right, ideal, ultimate home without going on some kind of a wild goose chase, being hassled and annoyed and deceived. It's really not necessary to go through all this stress and frustration during what should be the most enjoyable process of finding your ideal new home. If you're looking for a new home or condo in Manila, this video could save you many hours and days of valuable, precious time, and also help you to avoid a lot of unnecessary stress and frustration, and possible disaster that can often happen during this process. In the U.S. and other countries, buyers are often served by their own professional agents, what we call buyer's agents, who work for them to help them find any new home that they want and represent their interests rather than those of the seller. And a lot of times people are just not aware that when you call an agent to look at a house, that agent is working for the seller, and they have what is called a fiduciary relationship with the seller. So they're trying to get what the seller wants, and that can cause things like maybe the seller and the agent don't want you to know something about the house. But if the agent was working for you, the agent would make sure that you find out what you need to know, and if that's not the right house, they would not want you to buy it. They would want you to buy what is the right house for you. And a lot of people don't even realize that this is what's happening when they go look for a house. Contacting many different agents for each property that you're interested in, calling a whole bunch of different numbers from the newspaper and from the internet, and then making a bunch of appointments and going around meeting different people to look at different properties, it creates a conflict of interest that can cause a tremendous waste of time for the buyer and can cause major problems for the person who should be the most important person in this process, you. Think about it. You're the one person involved in this process whose desires and needs need to be met. Who is looking out for your interests? An agent who is some kind of an employee for a developer or working for the seller? Certainly not. They have their own interests, and they're trying to push their interests onto you. They don't really care what you want. You're the one person who is looking to buy a property, and it's your interests that are most important, not those of the agent and not those of the seller. Did you know that you can use our VIP buyer service and there's no cost to you? It doesn't cost you to have a professional buyer's agent working for you to get VIP treatment and have a professional meet with you, find out exactly what you're looking for, and help you through the entire process, regardless of which property you want to buy. It's a much better way to do things. And you deserve to have someone working for you instead of many people working for themselves. Don't waste another minute going about it the hard way. When you register to use our extensive listing search engine, you can now receive our VIP home buyer service absolutely free of charge. Because another thing that people don't realize is that even if you have your own agent working for you, it's the seller who ultimately has agreed to pay the agent. You don't have to even pay the agent. As long as you are honest and upfront and commit to working with this agent until you find what you want. After you meet with one of our agents who is thoroughly trained in how to provide professional service that you need, you can work with one agent only and view any property that's available for sale. Our agents are thoroughly trained to provide professional service to you, to help you to find exactly what you're looking for, and not to sell you something for their own benefit. A few people are afraid to put their name and email and phone number into the login for our site because they just aren't familiar with this and they don't want to receive spam or get unwanted phone calls from some annoying sales agent. But after watching this video and discovering the truth, most people quickly realize that this is the very way to avoid those things and the many other problems described earlier. What should you do next? Just go to mymanilacondo.com. When you begin your search for a property using our website, enter your name, email, and phone number, and make sure that you use a legitimate, valid email and phone number in the registration form, and it's for your own benefit. You will see why. On the left side of the screen of our website, there's a search box where you can search for properties, and after you begin to search, when you click on the View Results button right here, it will open up a registration form where you can register on our website for free so that you can come back again and again and continue to log in and use all the services that are available to you on our website. So just make sure that you put in your name, first and last name, email, and phone number, and click the free instant access button. When you're ready, we will help you get started, making sure that your home buying experience goes smoothly and exactly as planned. And you'll want to set up an appointment with one of our VIP service buyer's agents so that you can avoid all the unnecessary stress and frustration that you would probably experience otherwise. You're going to be so glad that you did, and you're going to refer this service to all of your friends and colleagues. When you find out how easy it is to take advantage of this service, you are going to be so thankful that you finally found the right place to do business for looking for a property in Manila and Makati. We look forward to working with you and being of service to you.